and it's up there. A shield or a barrier around the earth. And the mythologies talk about it. The ancient scriptures talk about this barrier around the earth. It's part technology, but it's also part etheric energy, far in advance of our own science today. The Native American Indians have often referred to it as the great web in the sky. And we might wonder about, again, modern symbolism. And who knows what? Here we have the symbol for the United Nations with the earth, with a strange grid, and the Roman laurel leaves encircling it. You cannot go to the moon. The Stargate is connected with the orbit of the moon, like the moon may be the lodestone or the lock. And the orbit of the moon is in some way connected to what keeps this Stargate active. That some 30,000 years ago, a highly developed civilization existed in the Andes, and also that the Earth's moon was not there at the time. This supports the evidence which suggests that the moon is not a natural satellite, but an artificial construction parked there some thousands of years ago. About the time of the 15th century, as they were congratulating themselves on their progress, the alien bureaucracy discovered the presence of the Stargate. They had to face the fact that even if all their technological hardware was successfully reconstructed, they still could not vacate the planet Earth, which had been placed under quarantine. So here we have it. Hundreds, thousands of years are going by. The alien progeny have understood that yes, all the technological hardware that they once had created and had brought here to the planet Earth, which may have even included spacecrafts and all sorts of cybernetic technologically advanced devices, all of it, or a good deal of it, has been destroyed. So here they are, spending 11,000 years, moving mankind gradually, manipulating every phase of history, putting whole nations under the swords, stretching their empire out to encompass the whole of the globe, mining and enslaving the whole human race in order to slowly, incrementally push the technology further to the point where they can restore some of this. And that accounts for why in the world for 11,000 years we've been so sexually and genetically and genderally and emotionally and psychologically arrested while we're so super technologically advanced.
And this deeper story has its birth, I guess, in the idea that Stanley Kubrick was involved with faking the Apollo moon landings. In fact, I contend that 2001: A Space Odyssey, in part, was a research and development project for the Apollo footage that was shot. And I wasn't sure I was right for the first hour. I wasn't sure that I had actually, I wasn't sure if I was blurring the line between what I wanted to see and what I was seeing. And then at about 58 minutes in the film is the famous scene where Danny's playing with his trucks and he stands up and he's wearing the Apollo 11 sweater with the rocket taking off. Then I knew I had nabbed it. And then I started watching the film with an intensity that I don't think I've ever watched a movie before. And every line began ringing true. Wendy, that is just so typical of you. Don't you know I have obligations to my employers? Do you have any idea what a contract is? Do you know what an agreement is? Jack Nicholson's whole tirade against his wife, that's Stanley. That's Stanley telling his wife that after she discovered what he was doing, which was the Apollo footage. He's got the Apollo 11 sweater on. He begins walking down the hallway towards room 237, and there's a key in the lock, and on the key is the words room and then the word NO, which is an old acronym for number, so room number 237, except that the only capital letters on the key are ROOM and then the N from the acronym NO, and there's only two words that you can come up with that have those letters in them, and that's moon and room. And so on the key, the tag, it says moon room. And that is the moon room. This is where everything happens, and none of it's real, and it all has to be lied about, and you can't let anyone know what's really going on in room 237. And there's many, many other deviations from the book to the movie.
It isn't real.
In 6 days, God created the heavens and the earth. On the seventh day, Stanley Kubrick sent everything back for modifications.
Hi, Blue Fox here. On September 27, 2015, I took pictures of the eclipse of the moon. I set up my 5-inch telescope using a 17mm eyepiece and took these snapshots. You will notice in the pictures, stars show through the dark portions of the moon. And as I go through them, I'll blow them up a little larger so you can see these stars. I'll point to one. There's a blue star here, a white star. There's another star right here. That shows up quite good. And that's that picture. Move on to the next one. You can actually see the stars here. We'll zoom in and we'll see a red star with a white star right in here. And then there's 3 stars, a white star, a blue star, and another blue star. And there's a white star pretty much over here. Okay, now this one here, you can see the stars. 1, 2, that's pretty bright. And I'll zoom in on it. Now there's a red star, white star, showing through the moon, white star, and then blue star again, with another star over here. And as we go further down, we see another blue star and a white star. There's more stars that I'm picking up on this film. They do have 2 stars out here and on the edge, but this is basically closer to the left side of the moon. Moving on, you can see 2 stars here. There's another star here, 2 stars down the bottom, and another star here. So we'll zoom that up for you. So one on the bottom. Some stars shining through. There's another 2 stars. Faint one in the background. And we have this star, blue star, and this white star. Also we have 1 star shining through here. And we look at this, we see stars shining through again. So what my point is the moon transparent? I've heard people talk about that. And as I see these pictures, I see that there's stars shining through like they had predicted.
That's amazing!
What if your world was make-believe? What if you didn't know it? Until now.
You may find yourself in another part of the world.
It's like the whole world revolves around me. Everybody seems to be in on it. I'm going away for a while.
You may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, how did I get... Look, this pen is floating. How crazy is that?